I got a cat a few months ago, like a little kitten, a little 7-month-old kitten. I love this cat. His name is Greg. I named him. I think people names are the best for cats, especially since he's new. Like, not even all my friends know I have a cat yet, so if any of my friends ask me to do something I don't want to do, I'll be like, oh, I can't hang out tonight. Me and Greg have plans to watch Mrs. Doubtfire or whatever, and they're like, wow, Greg sounds really cool, can't wait to meet him, and I'll be like, oh, you will, as soon as we're done snuggling. But so I got him when he was 7 months old. I've only had him for a few months, and I don't know. Okay, so you have a cat. I saw you making some wishes. Oh, you just like cats. How many cats? You had 4, now you're down to 2. Wow, way to bring the room down. Jeez. There's no good reason you went from 4 to 2. There's no way it's good, so I'm not gonna ask you. Let's find out. What is it? How did he go from 4 to 2? What happened to the other 2? Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna be happy. What's that?
I'll be getting more.
You'll be getting more? Oh yeah, well, they're easily replaceable. At least there's that. You think you meet someone with 4 cats and you're like, oh, we have a cat lover. And she's like, well, I lost 2. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I'll get 2 more. All right. If you have a cat, you know that their buttholes become a very huge part of your life, okay? Especially if they like you, they are just in your face all the time. I had this cat for just a few weeks, and I noticed that his butt was a little dirtier and crustier and red than made me comfortable, okay? And I was like, I think I gotta take him to the vet. I hadn't even taken him to the vet yet. This was the first time. And so I called the vet, and I was like, I have this new cat. I think I need to take him in. He's got a very irritated butthole. And the vet goes, okay, first of all, let's call it his rear end. And I was like, okay, first of all, no. As far as I'm concerned, the rear end is the whole back half of the cat. I'm telling you, I can see very specifically the problem area is his butt hole. So we're adults, you're a vet, let's be professional. Butthole. And the vet was like, okay, we have an opening at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Can you bring him in? And I was like, okay, can we do like 11? Like, it's not an emergency. I don't think I should have to set an alarm. She's like, oh, fine, bring him in at 11. And I did. Still had to have set an alarm, but I made it. I brought him in, and the vet goes, what's your kid's name? I was like, I like that. That's cute. My vet calls your pets your kids. I go, his name is Greg. And she picked him up and she goes, oh, Greg has a little Buddha belly. And I was like, all right, let's stop fat shaming my child. And then I went back into an examination room with them, and she turned the cat around and she goes, okay, would you like an anal expression? And I was like, sure. But what about the cat? I've had dogs and cats my whole life. Anal expressions are very common. They've all had them. I still don't know what it is. I've gone on Wikipedia and YouTube and Google. I've seen descriptions of it, but I've never actually seen what they do. All I know is that they bring them into some back room and then they come back and they got a different look on their face. Like they've been through some shit, you know? So she brings back Greg. He looks changed. And But she goes, I cleaned him up for you. He's a perfectly healthy, happy young cat. He's just young and he hasn't figured out how to clean himself yet. And then right before I left, she goes, by the way, I've seen dirtier buttholes. And I was like, that is the weirdest brag I have ever heard in my life. And I think I'd prefer if you'd call it his rear end. I did not bring him to the vet. I didn't just like notice his butt and then immediately bring him to the vet though. I did try to take care of it at home first. Like I chased the cat around with a paper towel for a solid 20 minutes before, and he wasn't into that. So I was like, well, maybe I'll distract him with some food, like I'll put some food down and distract him and then get him with like a wet paper towel. But then I was like, I don't want to give him a complex that like every time he eats, he thinks something goes in his butt. Dad's already got that complex. So I thought, I'll get him in the shower. My shower head comes down, he's a kid and he won't mind the water, and he really didn't. But the thing is I was just trying to get him with like a little gentle warm jet, and the truth is, dude just needed a power wash, it just wasn't enough. Also, before I got in the shower with the cat, I thought about it and I made a decision to wear a bathing suit. It just didn't feel appropriate to get in the shower naked with the cat. He feels like my kid. The cat has seen me jack off. It still didn't feel appropriate. There's also a safety issue, like it's nice to have a layer of cloth. He still claws and teeth. Also, most of us, not everybody, and hopefully in a not horribly inappropriate way, but most of us peripherally, when we're a kid, will see our dad changing, and you'll see your dad's penis when you're very young, and for your whole life, you'll be like, oh my God, my dad's got this like monster dick or whatever, and like, I just didn't want to give that complex to the cat, And I'm not up here to brag. Like, I'm totally normal, middle of the road, as average as it gets. But, like, compared to a cat, I'm unreal. So